Canine Academy has been training dogs for over 25 years. We're well established here in Oxford and in Birmingham. We train a lot of dogs and see a lot of really social dogs. And part of our program is to take the dog's training as far as we possibly can to give the owners lots of options of ways they can enjoy their dogs. So one of the important ways that you can share your dog and enjoy your dog is by having them become a registered therapy dog if they qualify. And that way you can visit the schools, you could visit nursing homes. Wynn and I do a lot of work in senior homes, and it really makes a difference for the community. So we decided with the tragedy in November, we had a huge outreach of people wanting to know how do they get their dogs registered to be therapy dogs so they could participate here at Legacy and in the school districts. So we wanted to bring awareness to the process of becoming a registered therapy dog, that not all dogs are cut out for therapy work. You know, they have to be social, yes, but they also have to be appropriate. So they have to follow your basic commands. They have to be able to remain composed in the face of distraction. So it does require a lot of the dog and the handler. So, you know, I felt that it was important to educate the community that not all dogs are going to be qualified, but when they are qualified, how hard they've worked to get to that point. We're happy that you're here to support our great dogs and their great owners that are hoping to achieve therapy registration today. I'm Lisa from Canine Academy. We've got a full crew here today to support the dogs and their owners through the testing. Our tester today is Terry Swanson. Terry represents Therapy Dogs International, and she's got a lifetime of experience, and she's going to guide us through the testing today. But the purpose of this event is to give awareness. As we're all painfully aware, there's been a huge need for therapy dogs as of the recent events at the Oxford High School. And our phones have been blowing up looking for people to bring therapy dogs into the schools, or how do they get their dog certified to become a therapy dog so they can participate and support the local community. So not every dog is intended to be a therapy dog, and not every dog should be a therapy dog. So today, Terry's going to take the time and right out of the gate is going to explain what a therapy dog is, what a therapy dog does, and the difference between a therapy dog and a service dog. And as she's guiding these dogs through this test, I want to remind everybody, both audience and participants, that if your dog does not pass every increment of the test today, that is not a fail. Your dogs are amazing. You've worked really hard. We've worked really hard to support your training. They've come further than you ever would have dreamed of in the first place. So this is not a pass or a fail, right? There's no dog in here that is a failure. And there's no owner here that is a failure. So I want to plant that seed first so that we can all be in support of our dogs and their owners. And Terry does a great job of explaining what's expected, and she's also very good at explaining the areas that need work. So not all dogs pass the first time that they test, and that's okay too. I'd also like to give a heads up to Canine Stray Rescue. If you can look in the back, this is Kelly Barker. She's here today. Canine Stray Rescue is a local nonprofit organization that does an amazing job placing dogs that need families. They place hundreds of dogs every year, and they do a very thorough job of doing that, and it's strictly a volunteer basis. The majority of the people that are at Canine Stray are volunteering their time and their energy. So Canine Academy likes to support Canine Stray anytime we can. A good portion of our clients come to us with rescue dogs, right? So we would ask you to help support them today. They're here to offer you a water if you would like a water. If you make a donation of $10 or more, you'll get a Canine Academy t-shirt, and hey, who doesn't want that? But we really appreciate you supporting Canine Academy, Therapy Dogs International, and Canine Stray today. My name is Lisa. We've got an entire crew in the back. If you want to raise your hands, this is part of our Canine Academy crew. We're here to help you. If you have any questions, you need help, we are here for you. So I hope you enjoy this event. And again, I really appreciate you spending your Saturday morning with us. Here you go, Terry.
Well, good morning, everyone. I am Terry Swanson. I am your evaluator today. I am an evaluator for Therapy Dogs International, also known as TDI. And I will just share with you a little bit of information you need to know so that you understand some of the components of the test and the goals of the test. First of all, thank you for coming out on a Saturday morning to test your dogs. Just by virtue of you starting to work with your dogs and train your dogs says what a commitment you have, a partnership you have, the bonding that you have. And I can tell you that as they grow in that partnership with you, that partnership continues to get stronger and stronger. Because how many of you love your dogs? All of you? Absolutely. They're members of your family. They're not just somebody that we just say hello to them once a day. They're real members of your family, and that's why we do this. We love our dogs. I need to share with you some things that are going to happen today, but first of all, I need to let you know that this is a therapy dog test. What I look for, first of all, I went around and greeted each of your dogs and made sure you had the proper collar on. I made sure that they're a friendly disposition. Therapy dogs need to be very well socialized, very comfortable in the environment, comfortable with all kinds of different distractions, kind of surprising events, if you will, because I can tell you that I am very privileged. My own dog is a therapy dog. I had another dog that was a therapy dog for 10 years. My current dog has been a therapy dog about 5 years. I have 2 golden retrievers. And it's amazing when you're out on a visit, the kind of things that happen that you need to be prepared for, or at least prepared to handle. So one thing today I will encourage you is to be proactive, not reactive. You're out there on a visit, you are caring for your dog, and you are kind of being aware of the environment that you are in. If you're going to do a school setting, the kids are super excited to see your dogs. They all have the high-pitched Minnie Mouse voices if they're in the elementary school level. And your dog needs to be ready for that. They can be excited, but they can't be jumping up and whatever on the kids. They need to have some basic manners and those types of things. I will tell you that in the start, a therapy dog, you will plan your visits and you will arrange your visits with your location. We, as a therapy dog, we want people to pet the dogs, but we do not have free access to go into all kinds of buildings, airlines. This is not a service dog, and that needs to be very clearly understood. Service dogs are trained for a specific purpose for their owner. And when they are out with their owner, they are working. If you see a service dog vest on, they are not inviting you to pet them. They are working. So they might be trained as a diabetic alert dog, a seizure alert dog, a seeing eye dog, any of those types of things, a variety of things. But they are working. A therapy dog, on the other hand, has planned visits, and we are encouraging someone to pet them, to socialize with them. But the other key piece of that is you are a very real partner in that visit. So you yourself bring a lot to the visit. For some, if you're visiting some facilities, you might be the first person that's visiting them today. Maybe their families are out of town and can't visit as often as they'd like. You are also a very important part of that visit. Your conversation with the resident, as they're petting your dog, and all those types of interactions are equally important. So it truly is a team that is out there visiting the facilities, visiting schools, doing reading programs, grief and loss types of support work, whatever it is that you choose to do with your dog. Okay, if that makes sense. The service dog, on the other hand, if you see a vest, they're working and they're not to be petted. With Therapy Dogs International, we will wear a scarf that comes from them if you're certified. They have a little tag on the collar for the dog. We don't wear vests. We want really, and you can imagine the smaller dogs, if they have a vest on, you're petting the vest rather than the dog, and we want them to have that tactile stimulation. People benefit from that. There are very real studies that show that the natural endorphins are released every time we pet our own dogs or folks out in the world pet a dog. It is comforting, it is supportive, it brings joy to people, and that's why we're all doing this. So those are the types of things that you want to remember. You today have taken a first step in a long journey, and I congratulate you. But please keep working with your dogs. Whether they pass today or they don't, they get better the more that you work with them. And I can tell you, having a seasoned therapy dog, they get better as they're visiting. And I can train all kinds of behavior, obedience, foundation. Well, there we go. Nicely done. Went right back to his mat. Good job, bud. But what I can tell you is that the dogs naturally know and appreciate who needs them, and they will gravitate toward them. And they will act differently with different populations, and that is just something that the dogs bring to the table. Dogs are absolutely wonderful, and they can kind of really sense who needs them and who they should offer support to. So today we're going to walk through the test, and I will walk you all the way through it, so please don't feel like you have to remember everything. You can talk to your dogs all the way through the test. There are no cookies or treats during the test, please. But if they pass, you can take them out and celebrate all you want. But please, for right now, no cookies or treats. We're going to start today with the children, and I'll explain all of that with you as we go through the testing. After that, we've got some simulated visits, and then after that, we have some different types of obedience types of things that we're testing on. Okay? Any questions so far? Lisa, anything
I'm working on the music.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You didn't know you were going to be dancing with your dogs.
Well, that just fits in. I will tell you that Anna is, she and I train together, we teach together, and we do also a lot of competitions. Our dogs are therapy dogs, but we also compete with our dogs. Our dogs are in agility and rally and obedience, and this is just comforting to me because we compete with our dogs in a little thing called freestyle, which is dancing with your dog. So it's like, okay, all right, let's all dance with the dog. So welcome. There is no question that is silly. Ask me. If you didn't hear what I said or you're not clear on what to do, please talk to me all the way through. And I will try to make this as pleasant of a procedure as possible. And again, if you pass, we'll all celebrate. If you have things to work on, look at this as a benchmark and information. These are some areas of opportunities we have to work on and strengthen within our dog until you're ready to take the test again. I will tell you, going around to visit with the dogs, every single one is what I like to see. Very friendly, very receptive to be. No one's shrinking behind looking like, oh my gosh, I'm worried about you. Everyone very friendly, very receptive. So that's an important piece of the test that they've already succeeded.
So the first two tests today is going to be Mimi. Mimi is a Brittany, and Mimi actually has already been registered as a therapy dog several years ago, but with COVID shut down, she wasn't doing any visits, so she's just coming back to re-register and make sure that her TDI registration is current. So she's got to pass by these kids. She has to remain comfortable when she does so. Like a rock star. So you can have your dog do a downstay or a place, whichever you prefer. So after me, our next dog is Mia. We like to call her Mia Pia. It's nice to hear the owner engaging with the dog, right? Therapy dogs are not robots, they're animals. So you're going to want to stay connected when you do your visits. She's reading War and Peace. Perfect. Our next dog to test?
Wrigley.
Wrigley.
Wrigley is followed by Rocky, the golden, not the unregistered, the Rocky golden, so you can be on there.
And here comes little Wrigley. So as you can see, Wrigley's more concerned with who was on this mat before me. We tend to bring these mats so that your dog isn't laying on a cold, hard surface, right? Take your mat with you when you do your therapy visits. Nice job, Wrigley. All right. right, and our next dog up is Rocky. We're going to say Rocky 1 and Rocky 2 today. Rocky 1 is a golden retriever. Rocky 2 is a German shepherd. Okay, headed to the mat is Willie Mae. Willie Mae is a Newfoundland. Sedona and Nancy. So Sedona is one of the dogs that are going to test twice today, once with mom and once with dad. Good job. Since she is a supermodel, could you walk the catwalk again? So, let's give a round of applause one more time to our kids. Whoop, whoop. These kids are signed up for a repeat performance next week, right? We're doing this again next week with a whole nother bunch of dogs. The dogs that you're seeing testing today have been through Canine Academy's on-leash and off-leash programs. The dogs that you see next week testing will be a combination. Some are graduates of Canine Academy, and many that you'll see testing next week have just signed up on the TDI website to do testing. So you'll see another variety of dogs here next Saturday, but our amazing kids will be back to help us next Saturday. So their job is to have fun for the rest of the day. Thank you. So the next part of the test is going to be showing that you can walk your dog without pulling, jumping, appropriately. So as you walk up the ramp, when you get to the end of the ramp, Terry's going to guide you. You're going to ask your dog to sit. They're going to ask their dog to lay down. Then they're going to take their dog for a walk on the stage where they have to pass somebody thumping along with a walker. They have to pass by a cane. They have to pass by a wheelchair. At some point when they're up there walking, out of nowhere, there's going to be an emergency. So as they're up there meandering along, someone's going to come running up behind them. Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. Oh, it looks like Lauren won that job. So think about it. If you were doing a therapy visit, let's say at a hospital or a nursing home or anywhere, and you're walking down the hallway and someone comes rushing up behind you with a gurney, you want to be sure that your dog is comfortable in that scenario, right? So as they come running by, excuse me, at the same time, someone's going to drop their cane. So your dog is going to be faced with stimulation coming from different directions, right? You're guiding them past the objects and past the people as craziness is occurring. And then finally, at some point, they're going to approach this nice lady named Anna. And just like you would do a visit in a nursing home, you're going to approach to say hello, but Anna has a little surprise. She's going to say, hey, can your dog have a cookie? And extend her hand out. At which point the owners are going to guide their dogs away. They're going to maybe ask for a leave it or a come. They're going to pull their dog, or they're going to ask their dog to pull themselves away from that cookie. Because that could happen when you're out there doing therapy. People love to give dogs snacks, even when you're out in public with your own dog. Everybody wants to give your dog a cookie, right? So you want to be sure that without any resistance, you can ask your dog to move away from that. And then eventually you'll end up walking down the steps. And as you get to the bottom of the steps, there's going to be somebody there that's going to say, may I take your dog? And you're going to hand your dog off to a responsible person. Might be me, I'm not sure. And we're going to step into that room there. So we want to make sure that when your dog is taken away from you, your dog remains calm and relaxed, right? That's just a sign of a well-balanced dog. Is comfortable, right? Not overly attached to you. Doesn't find his security in your being, but rather his security is in his behavior.
This is stranger danger, okay? She's going to offer your dog a cookie. You can say, leave it. I just can't see you have forcibly holding them back. Once I say you're good, there's a leave it on the floor walk by. You leave it, water in a dish, and you're going to turn around. And then, I'm sorry, tell me your name. Lauren is going to be nice enough to help you exit down the stairway that way. Okay? From there, Lisa will take your dog until you're out of sight. Okay? All right? So excellent. Go say hello.
This, for many, is the hardest part of the test. Right? Getting your dog to voluntarily walk away from a cookie. It would be the hardest part for my test, that's for sure. So she has to move away from someone offering it, and she has to pass by a biscuit on a plate or a cracker and a bowl of water. Just like if you were to be doing a visit in a hospital and were walking down the hall and there was a plastic cap of a needle, you would want to be able to pass by that without your dog picking it up. Hi, may I take your dog? Hello, Screaming Mimi. Got it. Right? You want to be aware of the person that you're visiting. If they're in a walker, you don't want them bending over and forward to pet your dog because where are they going to end up? So a smaller dog, you can lift, you can balance it on your knee, you could hold it in your arms. If you were ever to do a visit and put it in someone's lap, you'd want to make sure you had a nice little towel or a blanket to put on their lap before you put your dog in someone's lap. Clearly, Lauren is embracing her role. Good girl. Oh, good girl. Good girl. Mia says that makes no sense to me at all. Good girl. Mia's like, leave what? Yeah, you want to go. Good girl. Oh, careful. There you go. Hi, Mia. You can breathe now. I'll take your puppy. Hi, me up here. What's in here?
Sit. No, thank you. Leave it. Good boy. Practice it. Good boy.
All right, so we're going to do sit, stay to the end of your 6-foot leash. Then they're going to do a down stay. And then we're going to end with the recall, which is come when you're called. So we're going to have 3 dogs at a time on the stage. So we're going to be competing with the distraction of each other. The owners are going to ask their dogs very clearly to sit and stay when Terry asks them to. As the owners stand up tall and back away to the end of their 6-foot leash. Notice the owners have their hand signal out. That's just a gentle reminder. They remind their dog to stay as they return to their dogs, and then they can release their dogs. And you're allowed to give reminders. Good wait, what a wait, who's a waiter.
A couple of different things. We were, number one, just really excited about the opportunity. We never thought we'd have a dog, let alone 3 dogs, that would be trained well enough and to do something like this. And then secondly, when we learned about the different opportunities for therapy dogs, that also intrigued us to be able to work with the schools and work in nursing homes and do different things like that. And obviously after the horrible tragedy in our community, that was another reason to just think, you know, what can we do to help?
If you're looking to get involved in any kind of training, you can reach us at greatdogs.org, and that is Canine Academy. And if you're looking to sign up for the next therapy dog testing through TDI, you go to their website, which is tdi-dog.org.
And how has the response been from the community with this?
The response has been well received. We're excited. We've had, many people just observing. We've had a lot of inquiries. I feel that although people have an awareness of therapy dog, they don't have a clear knowledge and understanding of the process to become a registered therapy dog. So we're hoping by opening up the Legacy Center that it's encouraging people to come and get an education.